Okay, starting another process video. This set of photographs is something that I had pulled out for this month for scrapbooking, and what I'm learning is that I'm quickly running out of space for paper. That means I should ease up on the paper or produce more pages. So what I went ahead and did is my first son, I call them both my monkeys, but he's wearing a natural monkey outfit in this one, which you can't really see and there's nothing really special about it, but I do have like monkey themed paper. This one has a tropical vibe to it because it does have these papers where it has like banana leaves and like tropical flowers, but they don't necessarily have to do just with monkeys. What I did want to do is I wanted to use some other papers that I have in here for accent stuff, and I also wanted to use this as part of, since I'm not done, or wait a minute, I did my 3 layouts for the month of January, but since we're still in January, kind of wanted to make it a point to keep using the bingo card that Tracy supplied us with. And so when I pulled out these photographs, I decided that I was also going to do a line for the bingo. And so I wanted to do this one for layout number 4. So it's flare, a decorative edge, the color blue, enamel dots, and solid color cardstock. So I am going to get the cardstock in a minute, but I did grab flare. Okay, and I just have a couple of things over here. I have some things that I need to clear out from here. In the meanwhile, I'm just gonna keep sticking them there. I pulled flare, I pulled out these 3 pieces. And then for blue, I have these enamel dots, and I'm probably gonna pull others. And so I decided to use these as well. These are homemade and they were given to me by my friend Megan. I had also pulled out these scrap pieces of paper from that same paper stack that I showed you from Die Cuts with a Few. And I'm gonna go ahead and pull the solid colored cardstock. And I did pull my blue and my homemade enamel dots, the flare, and I'm going to pull out my decorative edge, this one right here. These are punch outs from American Crafts, and they usually come with a set like this and then 5 or 6 other punches. And so what you do, if you haven't seen these, is you can pull out the guides and then they interchange so that you have, these are kind of like space savers, and you can put those back, pop these in, and then you have your guides in place so that when you put in the same punch in there, you just punch and then you can use this for guide. So this will be my decorative edge. It's a little triangle one. All I need right now is the solid colored cardstock. So I'm going to go ahead and put you on fast forward and create this layout. So I went ahead and decided on this multicolored circles with the monkeys and different, the monkey has different faces in all of the circles. I just liked it because it had more opportunities to bring in more colors. Aside from the palette that I had already picked out with the enamel dots, I tried to stay within those colors. I don't think I really brought in anything else, and if I did, it came from directly from the paper pad as different types of pattern paper. Most of the time it's the safest route to take whenever it is that you bring in more colors. I did have this yellow, and I used the edge punch from American Crafts. And I had this teal, and it also came from the paper pad. So I had these 3 pieces of paper. I'm mainly working with scraps that I have in the paper pad. I am trying to use up older items, and so throughout this year, I think I'm going to try to incorporate more of my older scrapbook items in with my newer scrapbook items so that I can use up some of this stash that I have. More and more I realize that I am going towards brighter colors. There's less distressing on them as far as like shadows go, and so I want to go ahead and use up all of these older things that I have, and try to incorporate them in with the newer ones, because that kind of does seem like a challenge, a fun one to kind of take up. So here I use this yellow piece of strip, and I was going to put the photographs going in a diagonal, but then I go ahead and decide against it because I wanted both of those photographs to touch that yellow piece of scrap paper. For whatever reason, I felt like it was going to ground them more. I do end up using this flare, and I use a little bit of these foam kits that you can build things out of. I usually tear them down and then keep the thinner pieces for myself. The thicker pieces are way too thick for me to use, that these projects come with, so I go ahead and toss those, but I try to keep as much as I can of the usable stuff so that I can use it in my layering on my layouts.
I hope that made sense. So here I'm putting in the flare, and I'm using these dots. What are they? From the glue dots. And I'm using them to stick down these homemade enamel dots. I'm using these punched out circles from the monkey faces from a different pattern paper to kind of use them as layering pieces. Because they were already punched out, I went ahead and said I'm going to try and use as many as I can. It also helps bring kind of like points. I'm seeing here, I run my hand down the photographs with the enamel dots, and so the color and those die cut circles help quite a bit. So here I found these Amy Tangerine puffy stickers, and they're in the shape of a house. Houses have nothing to do with monkeys, but I did take these pictures at home, and so that kind of helped bring in that type of mood and feeler element to the page so that it gives kind of a visual inclination as to where he was, or at least that's the feeling it gave me. I did color these alphas, these chipboard alphas from Target, and I used some Bria Reese writing paint, it says it is, but I just put some on the Tim Holtz craft mat, and I decided to paint them orange. They came out okay. I'm not super wowed by them, but they were actually getting lost in the pattern paper, so I decided to cut another circle, because I am using circles in this layout. I decided to cut a larger vellum circle to kind of use that as my landing place for my title. And here it looks a bit busy, but in real life it does give it that differentiation between the papers so that you can read the title a lot better. Excuse me, I am adding enamel dots, and I'm finishing up my layout. I did add some white tiny circles around the white vellum, and that's where I used to hide my glue behind. I do add my journaling, and you'll see some pictures in the layout below. This was an extra layout that I had for Mini Kit Monday. As you can see, the journaling is there, and I added that extra N because that's his last name, and it's been lying around on my desk this whole time. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this extra video. Don't forget to check out the other Mini Kit Monday ladies, and we will be back with the February 2020 kit reveal. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day wherever you are. Bye!